what's up? I'm Ashley. Thank you for watching this video. And today we're going to be talking about Cruel Summer Season 2, Episode 3. And let's get started. So the events that are about to unfold take place on or around July 19th, 1999, December 19th, 1999, and July 19th, 2000. And we're going to start things off in the summer of 1999. We see Isabella packing for their cabin trip, and Megan is trying to talk her out of it. She's like, "Are you sure you even want to go? There's just going to be a whole bunch of boys there." Boys. But Isabella still wants to go, and since Megan is used to always being the only girl, she's feeling a little jealous since Isabella is around now. So they get to the campsite, and off jump Jeff is acting a fool with his mask. Boy, put that mask down and stop playing. But if it wasn't obvious before, it's for sure obvious now that Jeff has a crush on Megan. He was trying to shoot his shot, okay? He was trying to flirt with her. He even brushed his hand up against hers when she got her bag out the car. He was trying to put it on her tough, but since she's used to being one of the guys all the time, she wasn't picking up what Jeff was putting down. Mainly because she's used to just being one of the guys and them just being friends. But Isabella even told her, "Jeff got a thing for you." But Megan was like, "Huh? What? No, he don't." But Brent came in and crashed the party. He brought some firewood with him though, because his dad told him to. He was telling Luke that dad sent him because he's afraid that you're going to catch a bullet, because Ned, the guy that we saw in like episode 1 and 2, who was outside shooting a gun, we finally find out that his name is Ned, and he supposedly gets trigger happy. So that's why Brent and Luke's dad sent him over there with firewood so that Luke wouldn't steal any anymore and risk the chance of him getting shot. And I feel like that was an interesting line to put in, like they're trying to make us think that, oh, maybe Ned shot him, but nah, I don't think Ned shot him. So then they're all outside practicing their aim, and Luke is trying to teach Isabella how to shoot, and Isabella is horrible, but I feel like she's faking it. She probably know what to do with a gun, but she's just putting on the front. But Megan came right on up after her, and she was like, pow, pow, pow. She shot all the glass up. She didn't miss not one bottle. You gotta watch out for her. And I also think she was just trying to show off because Isabella and Luke were getting really close. They've been flirting a lot, and she was like, "Let me show you what I can do. I can do it better than you." We find out that Brent and Megan used to be really close until his mom passed away, and after she passed away, he started being a douche, which is understandable, but I find it interesting that he was once likable. So we're starting to see the beginning of Megan and Isabella's friendship, and it looks like it all started on lies. Everyone starts playing two truths and a lie. Isabella is clearly lying about everything, especially the part about sleepwalking naked. She was like, "Huh, Megan, don't I do that? Didn't you catch me sleepwalking naked?" And Megan's like, "Yeah, I did." She just went along with it. So we're starting to see them cover for each other and create lies. But I also think Isabella was trying to feel her out and see what she would do. Then it started to rain, and everyone went inside except Megan and Isabella. Isabella thanked Megan for going along with her lie. They decided to head out and go home and let the boys have the cabin to themselves. They didn't want to play them stupid games they was playing, so they like, "We out of here." So as they're driving home, we see them bonding more, and when they pull up to the house, they see Megan's mama outside kissing on Megan's daddy. Megan is pissed because she don't like her daddy. She hasn't had anything to do with him in years, so she is pissed. She storms inside the house. She has a whole breakdown, and she starts venting to Isabella about how her dad was a musician who walked out on them when she was younger. So she's not understanding why he's back now and why her mom is even entertaining him. Then Isabella starts telling her about how horrible she thinks her parents are. She doesn't feel seen by them, so they're just bonding over not liking their parents. But let me know your thoughts on that timeline. And now we're going to move on to winter of 1999. Megan is yelling at the top of her lungs at Isabella. She's like, "Really? You didn't think to warn me that you was going to tell my mom that it was me on the sex tape? What happened to Ride or Die?" Isabella's excuse for telling her was that Debbie was looking at me like I was a monster. I couldn't stand the fact that she would think that I would ever betray you like that. When really, she was just jealous of the fact that Megan was telling Luke that they were ride or die. So she went in there and stormed in there like a big old baby. It was like, "That wasn't me on the sex tape. That was Megan." But then switches it up and says, "We're ride or die. I would do it again for you." Do what again for her? Cover for her and then say, "Never mind, it was her, not me." And it got me heated when Megan forgave her so easily. She was like, "You're right. Ride or die. I would do the same for you." Do what? Say it was me? Then never mind. Y'all don't make no sense. We see Luke and the sheriff talking, and the sheriff is telling Luke that he knows that he's a good guy and that he'll make everything right. That got him thinking, so he anonymously dropped off a box of tapes that belongs to Brent at the sheriff's station. So because of that, Brent and his dad Steve have to go down to the police station, and the sheriff is telling them that this is a serious matter. Some of the girls on these tapes are underage. Then that's when Steve jumps in and starts throwing his balls around because, you know, he's the big shot around town. And he's like, what about all the things that I've done for you? All the situations that I've gotten you out of. So he threatens the sheriff. He has that much pull. He tells him, I'll handle my own son. But he didn't even do anything to him. Once they got in the car, all he did was grab him by the neck. The back part of the neck at that, not even the front part where it counts. All he does is yell at him and says, I thought it was one tape, but you got 6. Not even mad at the fact that he had underage girls on the tape, but the fact that there's 6 tapes, but you just don't know there was more. But since Brent's the favorite, you already know he wasn't going to get in trouble. But you know who did? You know who got chewed out? Luke. Steve knows it was Luke who turned in the box. Steve tells him what your brother did is reprehensible, but he would never intentionally humiliate the family. And he didn't want to hear nothing else Luke had to say. He didn't want to hear nothing else. He closed up his book and got up from that table. Then to top it off, Brent rubs into Luke's face that all he got was a little slap on the hand. Didn't nothing happen to me. And then he roughs him up and like pushes him against the refrigerator and threatens him. And I said, okay, they treat Luke like he the stepchild. Then we get to Megan's job. Luke walks in and he tries to kiss her, but she's like, stop, you're just gonna make things worse. Since they have a whole sex tape together now, but I mean, you might as well kiss in public. Everybody done seen all your goodies. They done seen what you got already. Then Jeff walks in and tells Megan that she chose the wrong guy. He got an attitude now. He said, I would have never done that to you. I don't believe it though, because you walk around with a video camera all day, every day. So how could we really believe you and trust you that you never would have recorded her? Or did you? Did you? He could have felt so hurt and so rejected that he could have probably recorded them. But at the same time, I feel like that's too obvious. But I can't forget that he told Megan that he knows it was her in the tape because of her laugh. He said, I know that laugh from anywhere. I used to love your laugh when I had a crush on you. And chose Luke instead. So you're not fooling anybody. I don't know what you think. So then later on, Megan and Isabella meet up with Jeff. They're all like, you can't prove it was Megan on the tape. You can't prove it was me. You're going to keep your mouth shut. Because if you don't, then we're going to tell everyone how you afford your camera equipment. So how does he afford it? Tell us. Let us know. We won't tell nobody. He's like, you promised you wouldn't tell. But we gonna see if he's scared or not. We'll see if he takes threats seriously and lightly. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that timeline. And now we're going to move on to the summer of 2000. The sheriff pulls up to Megan's house, and Megan and Isabella already saw him coming. The sheriff tells Megan's mom, Debbie, that they found 3 fingerprints on the gun: Isabella's, Megan's, and Luke's, and that all makes sense because they were practicing shooting at the cabin. And while this whole conversation is happening, Megan is eavesdropping, and I would be too. But we saw Steve, Luke's dad, telling Debbie that, okay, yeah, the fingerprints thing makes sense, but what doesn't make sense is that we haven't been to the cabin in a while. But someone else was just recently there and they scrubbed it clean. And we all know that was Megan. We saw Megan in the cabin scrubbing the blood off the floor. She overheard that conversation too. She was upstairs listening. She sure do be in the right place at the right time. But this whole story is getting media attention now. Megan can't even mind her own business. This reporter was trying to ask Megan some questions, but Megan basically told her to F off. Megan poured her coffee in her food, and yeah, the reporter deserved that, but you know, if I'm the reporter, I'm mad now. You ain't seen the last of me. We meet Isabella's lawyer, and we find out that her parents sent her, and this lawyer knows all of her secrets. You can tell she's been dealing with her for a long time. Isabella says, can't we just claim diplomatic immunity and get up out of here? Her lawyer tells her that would be very bad considering what just happened last winter in St. Bart's. So what happened last winter in St. Bart's? And she made what she thought was a joke before in the summer of 1999 timeline when she said, I can kill all y'all and get away with it and claim diplomatic immunity. So I feel like This isn't new to her. Who she been killing? I feel like this involves Lisa. She keeps saying, my best friend Lisa. And like I said before, I think Lisa may be dead and she may have something to do with it. She probably killed her. But Isabella did stress the fact that they should get a good lawyer, and that's what Megan and her mom did. Megan asked her, how are you paying for this lawyer? He seems expensive. And that's when she found out that Debbie is getting money from her father, and Megan flipped. She almost flipped the table. And like I said before, she's mad at her dad. He walked out on them, and she hasn't had anything to do with him since. So they get down to the station, and the sheriff is asking them the same questions just to make sure they don't switch up. He asked her again, when was the last time you saw Luke? And she told him it was the New Year's Eve party. Then she said she drove him home, but the sheriff has evidence this time. He pulled the tape out. He said, look at the driveway. I don't see y'all pulling up in the driveway. He asked Isabella, when was the last time you were at the cabin? And she said, I haven't been back. So he pulls out her backpack. He said, what was your backpack doing there then? And then he pulls out this wad of cash that was in her backpack, and he said, where did this come from? What you doing with this? They were dumbfounded. They didn't know what to say. And the episode ended right there. They got a lot of explaining to do, and them lawyers gonna have to put in some work. They're gonna be working overtime. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that timeline and this whole episode down in the comments so we can talk about it. And if you haven't already and want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.